questions?
Yeah, last Tuesday we couldn't see any of their questions.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you could comment and you could put stuff up there, but we couldn't see theirs.
Hmm,
So hopefully we can see them today.
let's hope, yeah. Anyway, let's see. We're also on Rumble, so we can actually just start, even though there's no
Okay.
one here. And a lot of people watch this on like the rewind,
Oh yeah.
watch after we're done. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's Ellie here and Dr. Stacy. I'm not sure. I guess I'm sort of Kabbalah guru somewhat, but I've been demoted. I lost my channel, so I feel like I'm Ellie these days. But we were, I've it's been a learning curve for me too about the Lifewave products, and recently I purchased like just like a lot of patches, a bunch of patches. So I've been able to kind of experiment with different patches, and I'm finding it very interesting. And I'm finding, oh, we do have comments. You see the comments? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Okay. Good. I'm finding, because I mean, I invested a nice chunk of change into this because a deal came up, and I wanted to really try all the different products. So I basically have access to all of them, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm finding that I can kind of tailor my day about like what I need. Like, for example, if I just need a day where I just need to be, I'm a little tired. Let's say I didn't get enough sleep or something came up. I put on the energy patches, and that
Mm-hmm.
it gives me, just gives me a little bit of an edge. Um, Recently, I've been experimenting with carnosine. I was telling you this before, and because you said carnosine really works on your brain,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm finding that the carnosine really suppresses chatter in my mind. I don't like when I have the carnosine patch on. I'm not hearing this, like there's no random thoughts coming up about this and that, and I should be so terrified that some
Mm-hmm.
bill wasn't paid. I don't get that. I'm just like, it's like smooth. It's like I'm really not. I'm not really. I'm not getting like even entertaining thoughts. I'm just like
Mm-hmm.
placid. I'm just like everything is is I kind of in the moment. It's a very almost like a mystic experience. I think that if somebody was meditating deeply, they would have that effect. They would feel like they're taking the carnosine patch. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that there's, and there are other ones, just like there's nirvana. Like if I'm not feeling 100% on the money, I'm not having such a great day, I'll put on the nirvana patch and take one, I think it's 2 pills to those little
Mm-hmm.
supplements. um so and at night I liked Alavita, and I liked glutathione and Eon. Sometimes if I have a little bit of a inflammation somewhere, I'll take some Eon. But I think it's almost like you're choosing, like an additional kind of benefit of or quality of life in
Mm-hmm.
the areas that you need on any particular day. I mean, my days tend to be, I have the same kind of responsibilities, but my days go, I'm all over the map mentally. So, you know, um,
Well, I want to first say hi to everyone because I can see a lot of faces and a lot of names that I recognize. So, hello. But I would like to piggyback off of some of the things that you said. Okay. So, that's what a lot of people want to know, like, what patches do I need for this or for that? Or, what do I do? And I love how you say, you obviously started with the X39, the stem cell activation patch, and you still use that every single day. But you're experimenting with some of these others because there are benefits, and you're finding those in different ways and for different days, And so I want to touch on the carnosine. You mentioned that, and someone was already asking about memory. So, carnosine is an antioxidant, okay? Most people don't know about carnosine. They know about glutathione. You mentioned glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant, immune booster, and detoxer. But carnosine is really second to that. And it's made in our body, but it declines as we age, just like glutathione does. And so, if you're using carnosine as a nutrient, it does tend to be destroyed in the stomach pretty quickly. And so it's hard to get carnosine to actually do what you need it or want it to do in a supplement form. And so when we look at this patch, these are non-transdermal patches, all the different ones that Ellie mentioned. And that just means that there's nothing entering into the body. Okay. It's just a little round patch. And this is what it looks like without the back on it. All right. And so this carnosine patch is going to elevate your own carnosine level, which is fantastic. It's elevating your own. It's not putting anything in your body. You don't have to worry about your body trying to absorb it, assimilate it, digest it, any of that. And so what carnosine does, you were mentioning it for specifically, just to kind of keep the chatter out, the noise out and in your brain, and kind of keep those thoughts, those stray random thoughts from coming in. Now, how does that happen? Well, carnosine does a lot, and I'm going to tell you everything that it does. But in the brain, carnosine balances left brain, right brain hemisphere. So you have a right brain and a left brain. There's a midline.
Hopefully, in my case.
Hopefully, it's all still there.
Yeah.
Right? Depends on if you're a product of the 60s or 70s. So who knows? But basically, that communication between the hemispheres gets out of balance, out of sync. Okay. And so coherence is what we call that when things come into balance. And you know that, obviously. And so carnosine help brings the left brain and the right brain into balance, into coherence. And it improves communication. It improves cognition. And it improves the executive functions inside of your brain that are responsible. Of course, your brain's responsible for everything. But when you think about people with, Kenneth had mentioned, memory issues or concentration issues or focus issues, clarity, brain, the monkey mind, right? That go, go, go nonstop, the worry, the fear, all of those types of things that are constantly being bombarded with everywhere. Carnosine says, let's get back into coherence. Let's get into balance. Let's help this brain. One thing that if you were to Google the nutrient of carnosine, you would say, of course, we can't make these claims, but you would say carnosine detoxes aluminum from the brain. Now, if you've ever eaten in an aluminum pan, you've ever cooked any food in an aluminum pan, if you've ever used any deodorant with aluminum, or if you've ever covered your food up with aluminum foil after it has been cooked, then you probably have aluminum in your body, right? And especially your brain. And also, we know there's a lot of aluminum in personal care products and cleaning products, and just it's hidden everywhere. It's crazy. So we want to get that aluminum, just like other heavy metals, out of our body. And we know carnosine as a nutrient does that. And so using this patch is so beneficial when you look at any type of brain issue. Anything on the spectrum, anything in the aging population, anything to do with mental abilities, carnosine is going to improve that. And I know this for a fact with my own daughter. When we started using the patches with her 2 years ago, she was nonverbal. And of course, we started with X39, 100%, right? Activate stem cells, get those stem cells mobilized and increased in the body, reduce inflammation. You mentioned Eon, that helps with that inflammation in the body. But carnosine is the reason why she started saying words. Carnosine is the reason why she was able to communicate, and you could ask her questions and she would answer on the spot, because of what it did for her brain, for balancing those two hemispheres and improving her communication and ability to be able to communicate with people like this on spot. So this is a huge, 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 huge protocol when you're looking at anything for the brain. And like I said, of course, carnosine. Carnosine also, is a patch that's great when, believe it or not, you probably don't know this, Ellie, but we have a protocol for like facelift, and so people will use carnosine. It's great for tissue repair. So people will use it around their face at night. It's great for the eyes. Carnosine is amazing for anything to do with the eyes. And like I said, tissue repair. It's great for tissue repair. It's great for helping to repair muscle and building muscle mass. It loves the heart. Yes, muscle. It loves the heart. Carnosine repairs the heart. if you were to research carnosine as a nutrient, you could see that it clears clogged arteries.
Dr.
That's a
Stacy,
lot.
am I in danger of becoming too handsome if I take carnosine?
Too handsome and too smart.
Too smart, right? Yeah,
Yes.
all my exes will tell you that I'm definitely too smart for my own good. Um,
I
yeah.
love it.
So yeah, it's really I mean I'm just saying the effect that I'm getting is just like it's
Mm-hmm.
as if I was meditating all day long, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
I'm in that kind of a quiet, nice space, and I find for some reason when you said it helps with brain issues, I'm always into like thoughts and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been kind of focused on that lately, but that could change.
Mm-hmm.
And Julie, yeah, you could always, I love it that I'm your guru. That really makes me happy. I'm not retiring from the guru phase, but you know, whether or not YouTube respects me as a guru doesn't really matter to me
Right.
much. Um,
Well, I want to piggyback a little off on the brain as well too, because you did mention nirvana. And nirvana is an Alavita, because I think this is a good brain day, honestly. Nirvana is a patch, and you mentioned the supplement that comes with it. It's the only supplement we have. It actually works with the neural hormones and the neurotransmitters in your brain to balance and stabilize mood. So when you look at anxiety, depression, worry, fear, guilt, shame, resentment, all of these negative and detrimental emotions and feelings that we can have, that a lot of times are rooted in our past, right? Or they're rooted in what's going on out there that we have no control over. And so being able to balance the mood, this is our mood enhancer system. So for people with severe stress and anxiety and depression, or if you're just having an off day, we call this our bliss patch. And we call it that for a reason. It increases your own beta endorphins. And beta endorphins are the happy, feel good, loving connection type of feelings in our body. Beta endorphins are natural pain relievers, which are amazing, right? So if you're not in pain, you're feeling great. So Nirvana system is fantastic because of the brain, is what it does in the brain as well too. I had a lady one time last year at an event. She put the Nirvana patch on, because you can usually tell the difference in about 15 minutes. And she came back to me and she goes, "Is this cocaine?" And I said, "No, it's not cocaine." And she goes, "I feel like I did when I used to do cocaine all the time." And I'm like, "I don't know if that's a good thing or not." She says, "No, it's a really good thing. I feel so happy. I feel so joyful. I'm just going to go out and do it." And she was just like this. And I'm like, "Okay, it's not what it does to me, but for you, elevating your own beta endorphins make you like super happy and want to go talk to the world." So, Nirvana is what we call that bliss patch. So, bliss, happiness, joyful, loving, caring, connecting type of feelings. So, that's one patch for the brain. And then, Ellie, you also said that you use Alavita at night. And so Alavita is a patch that we only wear at night. It signals a different peptide in the brain. Okay. And so this peptide is the epithalamic peptide, and it is responsible for a lot of things. Okay. When you look at the brain, it does help increase melatonin, it helps improve cognition. And of course, when we look at the pineal gland, we look at that connection to source. We look at that intuitive side. And so this helps to get that calcification off of your pineal gland, helps to lengthen the telomeres, and reducing oxidative and inflammatory stress. We know it's great for the skin as well, too. Which is a beautiful benefit. If you look at any type of skin issues whatsoever, Alavita is amazing for that. But it definitely helps with the brain. People say that they have vivid dreams,
yeah.
long, vivid dreams from being able to use the Alavita at night. So it's definitely a great patch.
I'm definitely seeing an increase in dreams that I remember. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, me
step
too.
back.
Yeah. Well, I know we had some people concerned about the Red Cross on the comment. And I know that the company has donated to many different types of organizations that help out in disaster situations, like what happened here in Florida with the hurricane. And of course, what's happened over in Ukraine. There are lots of different things that the company that David Schmidt is donating to help with disaster relief. So if that's what you were asking about, the company does make donations to different organizations that are on site to assist in disaster type situations.
How did these crosses? I haven't seen. These are red crosses on the.
They're saying that the company works with Red Cross. We don't work with Red Cross. David Schmidt, who is the owner of the company, donates money to different groups or organizations that are on site at a disaster relief type situation. So like when we had the hurricane down here in Florida last year, or like when they had the what happened in Ukraine last year, all different types of organizations. And so they're saying that they have seen where he has donated, I guess, to the Red Cross, but we don't directly work with the Red Cross on anything.
Right, because there's sort of I guess there's definitely a questionable, some questionable connections about that. But I'm seeing on the comments. Am I seeing little? Oh, those are just little arrows.
Oh, okay.
So I also want yeah. Well, we don't really. I mean, everything leads to that. I mean, but we're not. Yeah, we're not going to deal with that issue on this show. But I I also want to address Julie's medical concerns because
Okay.
she has a serious issue, and the
Mhm.
doctors are not really addressing it. I don't know how much um, maybe Julie, you should have a private conversation with Dr. Stacy.
Yeah, Julie, you can definitely text me. We can set up a time, or you can email me, and we can set up a time to have a phone conversation or a Zoom. I'm happy to do that. But I think it's Peter that said he's suffering from anxiety, worries, fear affects my daily life. So that would definitely, the Nirvana would definitely help you as well too, as well as the X39. And the reason why we always start with this patch and then we use supportive patches with it. This patch actually works in the brain as well, because your body's stem cells work anywhere and everywhere that your body needs. But we have clinical studies. If you go to startx39now.com, you can actually see over 90 clinical studies, and there are a lot of them on the brain that are on that site. All of the studies are there, of course, but I would definitely check out the ones for the brain, where you can see the improvement in the coherence in the brain and the brain's ability to function, different types of functions. And of course, like I mentioned with the other patches, how they benefit the brain. But Nirvana would definitely help you for sure.
I started having premonitions again. I don't know if we can help with that. I mean, let's see.
She says she has ovarian cysts and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
looking to get off your birth control, looking to balance your hormones. Yep. So X39 would definitely help, Eon, and also SP6. SP6 balances your endocrine system and your organs in your body. And obviously your endocrine system is responsible for your hormones. So that would be definitely beneficial for you. Somebody's asking about cost. So I had a call this morning at 8 o'clock. Ellie, I was in the gym and I had this lady call and she said, I'm on the website. I'm trying to place an order. How do I get an order placed this morning? And so the cost, you have two options. First of all, you can click buy now and purchase at retail price, and it's going to be shipped to you, or you can get Ellie's discount. And so if you want the discount, there's a couple ways you can do that. Of course, you can email me or text me, call me. I can help you, walk you through that process. But if you go to his website, which is in the show more in the notes section, then you can see it's lifewave.com/kabbalahguru. If you clicked join and then become a brand partner and join us, then you can see the wholesale packs. And the wholesale packs allow you to mix and match. So you don't have to pay retail. So the X39 for a month supply is $150 retail. But if you want the wholesale price, you can get 3 months for only $299. Okay. So yeah.
And or you could get the 3 packs and put in 2 other kinds of packs, right?
Yep, you can mix and match and do whatever you want. Absolutely.
And how about for, oh yeah, so Julie, I think you should really call Dr. Stacy and have a conference. But yeah, I respect and I understand why you don't want to deal with doctors. I totally I
Mhm.
get that.
Yeah.
My first wife had ovarian cyst actually, so
Mhm.
it can be very painful.
Lois, it was Nirvana.
Yeah, will insurance cover these? I'm just looking at Julie's.
That's a good question. And so we do not take insurance as far as like bill an insurance company, but we do have people that have health savings accounts. And health savings accounts, a lot of them do cover the patches. You typically have a card with that account, like kind of what's like a debit card, and you can use it to pay for your patches. We have a lot of people that do that. It works perfectly fine.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Any other? I missed. Do you see all the questions, Dr. Stacy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Julie says she has HSA. Mm-hmm.
Certainly. Anxiety, we got that. Okay, so I think we covered all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
What do oh, here's one. Recommend for
Medicaid doesn't cover it. We don't take any type of insurance, Medicaid or Medicare. If you have a card that goes with your health savings account, not all of them, but the majority of the health savings accounts that we've seen over the last several years have been approved. They're perfectly fine to use because you can pretty much pick what you want inside of that account. But there's been a couple I haven't seen, but yeah.
what about for thalassemia, blood disorder, and hyperthyroidism?
Yep. So when you look at the blood, you want to use the X39 and the Eon, of course. And then when you look at anything to do with your endocrine system, you would use SP6 also.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you, Julie, for sharing.
Yeah, the company doesn't donate to the Red Cross. The owner has donated to the Red Cross. I don't, if that's an issue, what can I tell you? I mean, it
Yeah.
is what it is. I'm not a Red Cross person either, but
Yeah.
he can spend his money whatever he wants. It doesn't really necessarily affect. Really what I'm finding, there's so many crosses. If you say, well, I'm not going to do this because of this, I mean, there's everything now is woven together, good and evil. I mean, I'm finding in the Jewish community right now, like I met with the nicest, sweetest rabbi on Passover. I stayed at his house. He lives on a little farm, has a beautiful family, and he's telling me that that the same guy who donated to very significant projects in Judaism also donated to the Red Cross, and isn't it wonderful? And I was just like, what do you say? I mean, do I hate the guy? I mean, no, he's a beautiful human
Yeah.
being. He doesn't know that the Red Cross, is involved in some questionable things, but
Mm-hmm.
but the people in my community that accepted donations from this person, thinking he's a wonderful guy because he's donating to us. Where do you draw the line? I don't know. I mean, it's. I also want to be.
Mhm.
I've been very. I was very angry at my community because of the 2020 thing, and I really left my community because I was so angry and I was so upset and I was so disappointed that the people that I looked up to for all these years would go and do something as stupid as that. But now I'm having a conversation with a young with Shifra Hendry, and Shifra saying
Mhm.
they're people. They're messed up. They got issues. They got a family just like everybody else in the world. Everybody else in the world is in bed with this horrific force because we all are trying to survive. Can you really hate somebody for
Mhm.
trying to support his family? I mean, I know a lot of people in when I left my job. They said you're going to get the ouchie or you leave. I said I'm leaving. But I knew these people that this I had this Jewish couple that I worked with. They were teachers. I was a teacher. And they were the most beautiful, sweet, loving people in the world. And they called me and cried. They said, I can't give up my job. We have, 5, 6 kids. So am I going to hate these people? Because, I can't. I mean, I just, my heart goes out to them. I cried with them. It's
Mhm.
a horrific thing that this enemy is not, it's not so simple, man. It's not, and I'm finding in
Mhm.
myself that I've cut. I went through this thing last week where I finally in discussion with Schiffer, I finally realized these people, they're human too. The people in my community that did this, they're stupid. They're messed up. They made a mistake, but it doesn't mean I have to throw out the whole religion. You know,
That was so well said.
the leaders, it's the leaders in all areas, in all walks of life.
Mhm.
The leaders are corrupt. They're picked because they are corruptible. They have issues and they can be bribed and
Mhm.
blackmailed. But we can't, yeah, I can't blame this nice young couple because they were trying to support their family. I mean, how can I, I'm not going to judge them. I
Mhm.
was just lucky. I was already, my son was already grown up, so I could say, and I was planning to leave my wife anyway. So I just was like, you know, I'm out. Yeah.
Perfect timing for
Yeah.
you.
God speaks through, things that happen to you.
Yeah.
So anyway, any more
Well,
questions?
Lois had said she didn't get her question answered. And Lois, I wanted to make sure you saw that I had said Nirvana. You had asked about what patch made the woman feel like she was on cocaine, and it was Nirvana. So I wanted to make sure you got that for sure.
And again, it's not a drug. It doesn't put anything into your body. It just reflects your own light. But I would also say that carnosine is very puts you into a kind of a meditative state.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm feeling. I mean, yesterday I was just completely blissed out. I really didn't even want to move. I didn't want to interact with anyone. And I wasn't, having cosmic thoughts. I was just, I was looking at the water and I was feeling like I was the water.
That's great. I love it. Well, Sherry says, what would you recommend for an elderly person that has some eye issues? So I would definitely do the X39 and the carnosine, as well as the Eon, because you had said they have some pain and inflammation in their joints. So these would be fantastic patches to help with that person.
Yeah, the picture is backward. I'm sorry about that, Sandy.
Sorry.
It's hard to. Let me see if mine is
Yeah.
backwards.
I don't know. Mine's always,
I have a lot of these patches. No,
yeah.
there's some kind of button that I pushed at some point to make things go in the right direction. Alvita, yeah. This is one that I think should probably be mentioned again. But the Energy Enhancer is a two
Hmm.
patch system, and it was designed also for the Navy SEALs, right?
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
And I also use this daily. I use X49 and X39, but I'm in the business, so I'm like I have access to all these things. I mean, that's one of the advantages of getting into the business
Hmm.
is that you have more access to the products.
Mm-hmm.
Could almost just do it just to get free products. It's probably worth it. And again, I mean, in terms of finances, is it expensive? I'm just thinking like how many tens of thousands of dollars have we all blown on health insurance for doctors that they don't really know anything about medicine. No offense to you, Dr. Stacy, because I know saying that a lot of them, I mean, the treatments, man, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the ouchie, I mean, it's pretty clear that, but they got us that, they
Mm-hmm.
put us into a corner where we have, people feel like if you don't have, I mean, I tell people I don't have health insurance. They're just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what? I'm just like, why would I want to have health insurance? I'm not going to there until they change the medical standards and the medical procedures and the medical, the whole doctrine, if out of, treating symptoms into health. Why would I want to go to a doctor anyway? I mean, maybe if it was my last, I was on my last breath, okay, so take me to a doctor. They're not going to worry about my insurance at that point. They're just, I don't think. I mean, so they're not going to treat me because I don't have insurance. I don't know, but
Nope, I agree.
this is like a kind of insurance that
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can stimulate your stem cells, and you're not putting anything in your body. You're just stimulating your body to produce its own
Mm-hmm.
stem cells. I mean, people pay fortunes, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for you. Dr. Stacy told for stem cell therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're dealing
Yep.
with ethical issues. You're dealing with, you're taking cells from children. I think. I mean, it's.
Mm-hmm.
I personally wouldn't go there.
Yep. Yep, I agree. Stem cell injections can be extremely costly. I mean, sometimes you can use your own cells, but then, of course, your stem cells are going to be whatever age you are that you're putting back in your body. Of course, there's donor cells, umbilical cord. They're using umbilical cord cells a lot. And then, there's that controversial, like, where are these from? Aborted fetuses, in the petri dish. Who knows? Are they cloned cells? Are they real? I've heard people here recently that, knew people that went somewhere to get stem cell injections and they've had, serious adverse effects from them. So it's definitely, something that's very controversial, which is why this is a fantastic modality because it's not putting anything in your body and it's helping your body to do what it did when it was younger, getting your body into balance and getting it back into homeostasis so it can stay young, youthful, and vibrant, right? And age gracefully instead of dealing with all of the serious conditions that a lot of people are dealing with out there right now. So, Renita, that's a great question. We saw some changes in the first few weeks. We saw bigger changes within that first 3 months. 6 months was pretty significant, and definitely in that first year, it was really, really dramatic, the things we saw with her, with verbalization and her hormones and her physical body, her structure, her abilities that she could do, fine motor skills improved and things like that. So we saw more results in a year with those 3 patches than we had seen in 15 years of everything else holistic under the sun that we did. And we did a lot of different types of stem cell therapies. We spent 4 months in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber with a doctor in Cincinnati that was a former Navy SEAL, and we did a lot of things with him. We spent 15 years doing things all over the country, everything holistic I could get my hands on, nutritional and different types of modalities. And this by far superseded anything we'd ever done for a fraction of the cost.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
I also want to mention that if you are interested in the business, we're doing it. We have a business meeting tonight at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. If anyone's interested, put it on. If you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, you should have you probably got the link.
Yep, it's on my Zoom link at 6:30
Your Zoom,
Eastern. Yeah.
right?
Yep. You leave a patch on 12 hours. Someone asked how long you leave it on. 12 hours, and then after that, you take it off and throw it away. You put on a new one the next day. Yep. Renita, have your daughter reach out whenever. Have her email me or text me. We can set up an appointment.
How long is the patch? Yeah, 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Can I post the link? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Post the link. That'd be great. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, I hope you find what you need, Julie. How soon did you see it? Oh, you answered that question, right?
Yeah.
All right, so looks like we're running out of questions. I just want to do one more thing before we break up. Actually,
Okay.
I'll probably post the Zoom link. Could I post the Zoom link? Let me think. Yeah, I don't know. Should I try? Should I try to post that?
Yeah, you can.
I'll try to do that. But the one question I want to repeat because I like to do this every time. If you got the ouchie from Dr. Fauci, what can you do? And I have my mom. My mom got all the ouchies, so I have
Mm-hmm.
her on glutathione,
Mm-hmm.
Eon, and X39.
Yeah. And I know they said mine are backwards and yours are not.
Yeah,
But yes.
I don't know if I have those. I actually it looks like I do. I have X. Okay, so here's from
Glutathione. There you go.
X39. Um, I don't have glutathione.
Carlos, I called you twice the other week, but
And
I can call you again. I think we're playing phone tag. I'm going to make a note because I have your voicemail still.
and
So I'll call you here in a little bit when I get a break.
was that Carlos also?
Yeah, we were playing phone tag.
Okay.
So for your eyes, you would do X39, Eon, and Carnosine.
Let me see if I can post that thing. Let's see. I have this new thing. DNA reset an hour now. Okay, let me see if I can get it from here.
Or if you want to type it, the Zoom link, do you want me to text it to you?
You want because you can't post.
I can't post.
Let me see because I already have it on. I already have it. Let's see how I would do
Okay.
this. Let me see if I can do it from here. I can go to desktop. Okay, so now how would I'm not sure how I would. It's on desktop already. Okay.
So how many months to be clear of danger? So that's a great question. And that's going to really depend on what's going on in your health, how many you received. We know just from initial microscopy studies that it's still there in 4 months. With doing nothing, right? Nothing, no intervention at all. We can still see it there in 4 months. It should be gone in a couple weeks. So typically what we're seeing with people is between that 6 to 12 month mark. Of course, I'm sure you're probably, I froze a little there. Am I frozen?
I'm sorry. I'm fussing around with this thing. I'll wait. Wait, check your posts from the YouTube channel. This should be the link. And if you have any trouble, just send me an email and I'll post it to you on the email.
I'm still frozen. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you and I see you fine.
Oh, okay.
You're probably just frozen on your end.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah. So it depends on the person and what's going on with you. But typically, we're seeing about that 6 to 12 month mark. Of course, you're probably going to get some type of blood work done or maybe some type of microscopy, right, to be able to see what's going on in your body. And so I would definitely give it a solid 6 months just to help get all of that out of your system with the X39, the Eon, and the glutathione.
Okay, 6 months. Okay, good to know. All right. So are we? We're good. You're having.
We're good.
I
We're
think we
gonna
have.
come back together again in a couple hours.
Yeah, we'll be back in a couple hours. Always, it's always a pleasure. You're so like sort of spunky. You're just sort of like fun
Thank
and
you. Thank
clear
you.
and very clear about in your communications. So, neuropathy. Did we touch on that one?
So we did not. You definitely want to use the X39 Eon and Ice Wave. Ice Wave we like to use at the bottoms of the feet for neuropathy, as well as the low back to help open up the energy channels and get things moving throughout the body. So we definitely can see improvements with that. And then as far as for the unvaccinated, we're all graphinated, yeah. So I would still use the X39 Eon and glutathione. Those are fantastic for anybody and everybody because we all want to keep our immune system up, and glutathione is the master antioxidant that does that. So yeah, I definitely would.
Yeah. So we got. You said 6 months with the ouchie.
Yeah. I don't have any doctors that I recommend for hormone testing. I think you definitely would want to find someone in your area that you can go to, that you can have, look for a functional med doctor or a naturopathic doctor for testing.
Okay, so I guess we'll see you in a couple hours. Looking forward to it. I
Yeah.
really I enjoyed the last Zoom meeting. It was really fun. It was nice to see everybody that's interested, and it's nice to see. I mean, I never get to see what people look like, so it's really nice.
Yeah, I know it is good, isn't
Sound
it?
like yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Yep. And Sandy, you can go to startx39now.com to be able to see all the information on all of the patches. So
Is,
definitely. Yep.
is you're answering Sandy's question? Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
about the written.
Yeah. And then, yes, SP6 for your endocrine system, Laurel. Definitely. Even if you've had a hysterectomy. Yes.
What's this? I don't know. We have a different way of looking at it, so
Yeah.
we use a different. We're using the patches. All right,
All right.
so
We'll see you at 6:30.
see you at 6:30. God bless everyone. See you.
Bye.